What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Spandau Ballet, and we're moving to the next album. Thank you again to Phil for stepping in and providing more of the catalog than I initially had access to, and of course thank you to Mr. Solo as well for giving me the earlier albums in this journey. And yeah, so the 1989 album Heart Like a Sky, it's already an interesting title for a record, and it's a simile of comparison, but I guess one can interpret it as being open and expansive, not limited and narrow. And in that regard, it seems like the opening track is driving at the same concept because it's be free with your love. So the idea of not keeping it prohibited or enclosed or covered or indeed small and narrowly focused, but instead being open to the idea of spreading it, of having it be unlimited, going to the horizon, not being short or closed off from the expanse of possible experience. Either way, I do like the poetry of both the album title and the opening track phrasing, so let's give it a listen. I'll see what I can catch. This is Spandau Ballet. The track is Be Free With Your Love, and it's the opening tune on their 1989 album Heart Like a Sky.
Dusty sand, close their eyes from the night so cold, feel the love in their mother's hold. Two men on their different shores, stretch the world with a tug of war. Tension pulls on a tightening cord, spread your love over man's discord. Life's your reward, so sing to your Lord. Be free with your love.
Nevertheless, I really enjoy it. I just did not expect that shift halfway through where it went from a sort of, maybe not ballad, but a slower and more melodically smooth type of tune to suddenly getting a lot of fanfare, almost like a Caribbean vibe, or maybe even like a Brazilian like dance party type of feel to it. So yeah, getting a lot more frenetic and fast paced with the drums, and the brass starts flaring a lot more, which brass in their tunes and having some flair to that type of instrument is certainly nothing unusual, but in many cases it's the saxophone, and the flair or the swagger is a bit different than here, where again it felt a bit like South American and a bit like dancing party, or like conga line or something. So yeah, it had a bit different of a vibe, even if it's an element common to their tunes. And yeah, so like lyrically, and especially with the significance, and big shout out to all of those of you who like redirected my understanding of Through the Barricades to a very specific geopolitical situation. And indeed, I think it's an amazing tune, and I totally get why that's, for many people their best tune, and for others, like at the very least, one of their most significant tunes. I completely get that, and it became an instant favorite of mine too. Here, again, it feels like maybe there's a personal level of this meaning, although like two young girls, and like was it like wrapped in innocence and so on, like there's some specific visual references, but it feels like maybe there's a broader point here being made. And I wondered for a moment, like, is this like Cold War, like 89, and the idea of like seeing common humanity even when there's like these big geopolitical forces at odds with each other, and letting your heart transcend those political or cultural or even like national barriers and obstacles, and seeing humanity in others. But I don't know how to connect the like specific visual and conceptual references that I heard with what sounds like some larger stroke meaning in some of the lines, and I didn't catch all of the lines perfectly. So yeah, lyrically I don't quite know how it all stitches together. I look forward to any insight you all might provide. But yeah, sonically, again, I just enjoy their sound, even if what I mean by their sound has taken some different turns and maybe evolved over the course of the discography I've heard at this point. But yeah, I especially enjoy, let's say, the first half of the tune, and it's not that I don't like the second half. It just really like surprised me, and I felt like, oh wow, the song like metamorphosized, like it became like a butterfly after being in a like an earlier state of its existence in the first half of the tune. But I like that smooth, down-tempo ambience and melodic stroke of the first half of the tune, and I enjoy the energy and the like danceability of the second half. But yeah, it like really surprised me that it took that turn. And yeah, vocally, like certainly not the biggest vocal performance, but ultimately I feel like it was in a good place, and the melody of the vocals was very rich and smooth, like the Sonics, again, in the first half especially. So a cool opener. I look forward to another album from Spandau. Again, it's a group that I wish I had latched onto a bit more as a kid, but it is fun to catch up now and to sort of see these different phases. So let me know what you think of this one, and I will see you for the next one. Peace.